Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Politics on AIG Media Pro TV. I am Adeyinka Egbenoba. With our population of 180 million and growing, and with over 60% of that population constituting of the youths, we need to now focus on the youth involvement in politics. So in the studio today we have Comrade Ayodele Adewale, who was the former local government chairman of Amuwo Odofin local government.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks so much, sir. We actually wanted to talk about youth and politics, but before we go into that, in your own opinion and in Nigerian context, when we say youth, what is the age bracket?
I will use a universal bracket, because if a youth leaves Nigeria and goes to any clime, you should be able to operate in a contemporary social realities that is universal.
Okay.
So I disagree with the Nigerian context. I would align myself with the universal concept. And the age bracket is within 25 to 36. That is the youth bracket. 25 and 36.
Okay, now let's bring it down to Nigerian politics. How many of that age bracket do we really have? Do we actually have in politics?
Well,
I know there are exceptions, but how many? What is the ratio of that between 25?
I've not done a study on it, and I don't have data, so I wouldn't want to give you what is not real. But I can tell you that it is very appalling. And when I say 25, sorry, it's 20. It's okay. 20, because teenage stops at 19.
Yeah.
It's 20 to 36. So, like I said, it is very appalling in Nigeria right now. But pre-independence, before our independence, the youth were the one that was saddled with the responsibility of governance and agitating for independence and agitating for a people's government that is people's driven, development driven, and they were bubbling with ideas. So at the downturn of the 70s to the 80s, that culture began to erode. And in the 90s, you could idly point at a youth that was visibly taking part in leadership in government.
But then some youths feel that those youth of those days that you are talking about, they are still clinging onto that power, not giving the nowadays youths that chance. And truly, if you look at it, okay, let's take the president, for example. He was in politics, he was in power from mid-20s, but he's still in power. So what chances do we have now as youths?
I would say two things. The first is that a lot of their time was cut short by the military incursion in government, especially those of them that were operating within a democratic space.
Okay.
When the military came in, a lot of them were frozen up. So it's as if they've not completed their circle. And along that time too, nature didn't stop to produce.
Is politics supposed to be a cycle?
It's a cycle.
That must be completed.
It's a cycle. Either you like it or it's a cycle. Politics, governance, economy, it's all a cycle. So if you don't complete, that is why you see some people at 70, they still behave like babies.
Okay.
They were caught in that cycle and they didn't continue with it. So by the time they woke up from that short-circuitness, they continued to operate at that condition. it's a matter for sociologists to explain very well to you. Okay. So it's a cycle, it's a journey. You understand? Just take a toy car, for instance. The toy car is moving, 2 toy cars are moving. You understand? And you hold one, and the other keep moving. Immediately you leave it, it continues to move at that distance.
Okay.
You understand? Why doesn't it veer to another distance?
Let's bring it down to the context,
yes.
The cycle. Take, for instance, I run for office, and in my mind, I want to do my 2 terms. But after a term, the people I'm governing says, no, we don't want to anymore. And I'm saying, oh, it's a cycle. I need to complete it.
No, it's not applicable.
Okay.
If you have done well in office, you are not the one that will start putting placards and putting billboards, running jingle and what have you know. Those who you are running all of those items for are the ones that will use their mouth to run it for you. You don't need to showcase yourself. So your work will showcase you. So you can't tell the people, if you have done well, the people will give you another mandate. Sovereignty lies with the people. So if the people does not renew your sovereignty, you are cut out.
I've been privileged to interview some of the youths that are contesting now. Truly, we were all happy. They were all happy when the bill was passed into law, not too young to run. But the same people that approved it has come out to say they don't have the experience.
You see, for those who are celebrating that thing, they should be crying.
Why?
They should be crying. It's like giving them a half-baked bread. In 2006, I moved a position on the plenary of Pronaco. Chief Anthony Enaoro of blessed memory was the leader of Pronaco. Dr. Becker was the deputy. No, Professor Shoyinka was the deputy, Becker was the vice.
Okay.
Professor Jadisola Akonde, OFR, late now, was the head of the legal department. Baba Oniwide Omojola was the secretary. I was mobilization officer for Pronaco. Mr. Wale Okuni was the spokesman.
Okay.
Now, we sat down for lunch at the now resident of the Speaker of Lagos State on Joel Ogunaike. And there I told them that why is it that the Nigerian Constitution does not allow the youth to play prominent role? That I remember that you people were the ones that were prominent, you understand, pre-independence and post-independence. And a lot of you were in your 20s and your teens.
Yeah.
We could hardly find a few of them in their 30s. Few, we could hardly find few. There were more in their 20s. Why is it now that when you see a 25-year-old running or trying to contest for public office, they say it's too young? And mind you, that we have seen a 21-year-old called to bar by the Nigerian law school.
Law school, yeah.
21. I know of one, Titi Akusa. She was 21 when she was called to bar. So if you can interpret the law, why can't you make the law? We have seen brand managers at 27. Even in the blue collar companies, they will tell you that once you are 25, don't even employ, don't even what do you call that thing now?
Don't apply.
You understand? So if that is so, and we are headheads all over the place. We've had doctors, doctorate degree holders at 28. So why are you stopping them? It was a contentious argument. At the end of the day, Baba Enaro asked me a question and said that at what age does one enlist into the army? I said 18. He said, if such a person go to war and die in battle, what do you call the person? I said, the hero.
Very true.
He said, what is the greatest price you can pay for your country? I said, laying down your life. He now said, if you can lay down your life for your country, why can't you be allowed to serve your country? And we went to the plenary,
okay,
and I won the debate, and 18 years was adopted as the political age benchmark into any elective office in Nigeria. So many years after, when some youth came up and started agitating for 25 and 35, or 27 and 35, I was just laughing. Okay, well, if the ruling class have allowed you because they wanted to make a point, Not that they love you.
But just
They wanted to make a point to pull them to their side. Remember that there was a fight within the ruling class. A Saraki of this world, Team Dogara, were also fighting the president. So the National Assembly went for that and gave and sold that bait to Nigerian youth, thinking that they would get the support of the youth against the executive. That was what happened.
We need to come back to that. We've been talking with Comrade Ayodele Adewale on youth and politics. We need to take a quick break now. Please stay with us. Welcome back. It's still Let's Talk Politics on AIG Media Pro, and we've been discussing about youths and politics in Nigeria and, let's say, in Lagos. So, sir, we were talking about the not too young to run bill, and at a point in time, you said youth shouldn't really be happy.
If you can vote at a thing, you should be voted for.
But there are several issues surrounding these youth not being able to come out to say they want to vote. Number one, funding. That's why some people will say before you can come out to contest, you must have a godfather. Some don't believe in that analogy. But what's your take? Godfatherism?
There is nothing wrong with godfatherism. A godfather simply means your mentor. We all look up to somebody in life.
But
we
in
all
a case,
want to be like someone or be better than someone.
Let's bring it down to the politics in maybe Lagos or Nigeria. If I am a godfather and I say, okay, if I want to run and you are my godfather and you sponsor my campaign with, like, let's say 500 million and I assume office, is that all going to be you? I'm mentoring you and that's it?
If I am your godfather, that means I'm a good example to you.
Okay.
That means I must help you to become a better person in life.
Okay.
And if God bless me to have such wealth, that means I can put my money to where my belief is and also use that structure to multiply more leaders in order to take care of our environment. Take, for instance, there are companies that sponsor youth activity. There are individuals that you call philanthropists that sponsor activities, either educational, either cultural, either art, or even engineering, inventions. There are people that do that. There are people that sponsor sports. Does that mean that they are expecting any gain from it? The question is no.
Okay.
It's not in all cases that you meet some people, quote unquote, godfathers, that will either support you with material or support you with influence. The only thing they expect from you is for you to perform, because your performance gives them that inner joy that a product of theirs is proving a point there and everybody is happy. I'm not saying that you don't have some other people who have done it in a negative form. You know, in everything in life, you have both the pros and cons. So it's like that all over the world.
The current ruling class have this saying that the youth don't have the experience to run. And looking at you, you were local government chairman at 30-something, like maybe 33. You contested first at 27.
I didn't contest at 27. I wanted to contest at 27, but the age limited me.
Okay.
So I had to wait for my 30.
For your 30s. Okay, fine. But now the question is, you had been into office at that age bracket of being a youth. What experience does it really take to run or to govern? Because for so many people that I've interviewed, they keep saying, the present ruling class are saying, we don't have the experience. And the experience that we think they have is stealing, looting, and a whole lot. So what experience are they really talking about that the youth do not have?
You see, experience is diverse. It's diverse. And it depends on the kind of experience.
And sir, also bearing in mind that some of these people, they've really done well in the private sector. So it is the expertise they've had that they are bringing to bear. So what experience really?
I was coming there.
Okay.
You see, there's a saying that you call a dog a bad name for you to hang it. It is not every old person in politics that see a young person and say that they don't have experience. If you find those who are saying that, they are actually saying that either for self reasons, in order to reduce the competition that these younger ones are bringing on board. Because the stage is very limited in space. It can only accommodate few people. So by the time you now open the Pandora box and allow more youth to come up, it means that those who are on that stage become threatened. That is why some people would want to say that. But in the other sense, there are some realists that will also tell you that some youth that they've seen are not ready. That is not to say that the whole of the youths are not ready. The youth who have come from the private sector that have done well, they are more than ready. The youth that have come from a vocational sector, that have come from the art industry, the entertainment industry, are very ready, particularly those who have done well.
Okay.
You can imagine somebody from the entertainment industry in the National Assembly coming to make law against piracy.
Okay.
They will make strong laws because they've been in that field. They've seen what pirates have done to their industry. They know how to close all the loose ends, bring in the right framework of law to protect that industry. The same thing for those who are coming from the manufacturing industry. They also know what counterfeit products have done. The same thing for those who are coming from the medical line, from the teaching profession and all of these things. So everybody is coming with something. But again, if you cannot trace some people to something, they become dangerous. For instance, you bring up a youth that his mainstay is Yahoo Yahoo, and is now coming to oversee billions of naira, then the society is in danger. Or you bring up a youth that cannot manage the resources he has, no matter how small, and you want to entrust him or her with stupendous wealth. At times, it is not that they embezzle the money. At times, they mismanage it, forgetting that there are processes before these funds are applied. For instance, you have to go through the budget cycle. Before you make a budget, you have to consult people, your constituency. There's a consultation meeting. Yes, you feel they need water, but apparently, they need more of road than water. Even if they say they need road, but you as the leader, you are looking at it that, look, if you bring road first before water, that road has a tendency of going bad because there's no drainage. So what you do first, you bring in a drain. So you have to bring experts in to help develop the space. That we have this space, we want to develop it. How do we go about this? Now, you make sure that those experts will be part of that consultative meeting. So that when people are bringing this argument, the expert will help to guide and curtail the thoughts of those who are bringing those arguments, knowing fully well that democracy is about people, and the larger number will take the day. So if they throw up a debate, and they also throw up an election within that debate, and you're not careful, the majority will have the day, and you're going to have a very, very terrible system.
Okay, now let's look at a situation whereby the youth have the experience, have the expertise, have the pedigree, and want to run for office. But again, the party also matters.
Definitely.
Why? Take for instance, Lagos has been, APC has been in Lagos for 20 years.
Yes.
And if there is a youth that is very good, bringing something good on board from another party, people don't even want to reckon with that kind of youth because the party is not unknown. So the truth is...
No, you're missing it. It has nothing to do with the dominant party. Both the dominant party and the smaller party are going to one market.
Okay.
The market is the community, the society. Now, the commodity in that market is also very important, and that's the candidate. The candidate
so are we
is
saying
the
for the
commodity.
past 20 years,
Yes.
there has not been any better candidate in other parties?
I won't say that. Perhaps the people have not seen the brightness in those other candidates. And the only brightness they see is in the candidate of the APC. You know why?
Why?
The APC has a structure, has a program. So once a candidate is coming on board, the candidate is not coming to implement his self-program. The candidate is coming to implement the party's program. You understand? So once you can hinge yourself to the party's program, and the party goes before the electorate to canvass for votes, and the electorates look at their program and they align with their program, they vote for the party because of their program. So what the candidate needs to do is to make sure that he or she sticks to the program of the party. Immediately you deviate from that program, the members of the party will also not return you to office.
I get. So if you want to tell our viewers, the youth out there that want to join politics or that want to run for office, what is that key advice you would give?
The first thing is that whenever you come to meetings, don't keep your mouth shut.
Okay.
Learn to contribute at meetings so that they can see the brightness in you. Then when you come to meetings also, you come to any party, the fact that you have a lot of people that have been there before you should not scare you. Learn to lobby and move within the system. And if they see you as an outstanding figure, they will rally around you.
So that's all we can take for today. Thank you so much for coming. So in all of it, we need to be engaging. We need to come out. We don't need to keep quiet. We need to fight for what belongs to us. Until next time again on Let's Talk Politics, I'm Adewale. See you next time.